April 5, do you fish in the back of the boat? Are you the guy or the girl that always sits in the back of the boat? Somebody else running the trolling motor, probably their boats, probably the way they're doing it, or maybe they just want to get the first cast at all the fish. If you're in the back, what's an excellent bait to use from the back of the boat? And it's also a great search bait to find fish when you're having a difficult time finding them. What would that be? What do you think? What's your guess? There's several. What one did I pick out today? Good morning, guys and girls. April 5. April 5. April 5, reading from the Catch a Better Life book on the Catch a Better Life channel on YouTube. Please subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. Want a copy of this book, you can get it at jimmyhouston.com. I'll be happy to personalize, autograph it for you. Get them at Barnes & Noble, Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, Books A Million, Hobby Lobby. We're looking in the book of Job today. Job 19:25. Job. Everybody loves Job. Everybody feels like they identify with Job. And Job says in 19:25, and this is one of the greatest statements in the world in the whole Bible, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on this earth. I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on this earth. Here's what I wrote about that. Tournament fishermen depend on sponsors. Without sponsorship, most, if not all, tournament anglers can't compete. They just simply cannot compete. I know I couldn't. Without my sponsors, I wouldn't have been able to fish tournaments for 54 years. Absolutely no doubt about it. And we've had some situations where very well-known pros have quit the game after losing a couple of major sponsors. Just had to absolutely quit. Not because they were doing bad in the tournaments, not because they didn't qualify for the year-end tournament or qualify to keep fishing, just because they lost a couple of major sponsors. Couldn't pay the entry fees, couldn't pay the bills. They simply couldn't pay these bills to keep competing. We have that same problem year after year after year. We've had this television show on for 47 years now, Jimmy Houston Outdoors on ESPN every Saturday morning, plus about a dozen other networks, the Pursuit Channel, WFN, the Heartland Network, Walk TV, the Hunt Channel. We were on a lot of places. But we fight the battle every year of just selling enough sponsorship and bringing in enough money to pay the bills, to pay for all the television time, the production time, all the salaries and stuff like that. We're looking at a tough situation right now for 2025. We're shooting next year's shows, hoping we'll be able to put those shows on the air, but we're having a tough time right now, as a matter of fact. Have you ever been in a tough financial situation like that? You ever been in a situation like that? Well, Job was. Job was in that tough a financial situation. Even worse. Job had lost everything but his wife and his life. He still had his wife, and she scorned him. She said his breath was even bad. She made fun of him. She told him to curse God and die. And he didn't lose his life. He was still alive. But he lost everything else. He lost all his children. He had several kids, lost them all. Every single one of them dead. He lost all of his wealth. All the money, all the cattle, all the sheep. Money, the wealth back in those days when Job was alive was a lot of livestock, really, is what it amounted to, and a lot of land. He lost it all. He lost all of his associates, all of his friends. His friends wouldn't even pay any attention to him. They would ridicule him. People would make fun of him when he went to town. He had lost his health, all of his health. His health had just gone to pot. He lost all of his possessions, everything he owned, everything, all gone. Total desperation. Job was in just a terrible, terrible state. How would you react if you was in a situation like Job? Lost everything? Everything? All you had left was your wife and your life. Would you blame somebody for all that? Would you blame somebody for losing everything? Would you blame God? Would you blame God? It's exactly what Job's wife told him to do. Curse God and die. We could see in today's verse that Job, most dreadful moment, the most dreadful time in his life, everything that he feared that could go wrong in his life, it did. Everything he was concerned about, everything that he had prayed about. Lord, I pray for my kids in case they've messed up, in case they've done something bad. I pray for my help in case they've done something bad. I pray for myself in case I've sinned today and not known it. Everything that he had worried about most in his life happened. His faith seemed the greatest. His faith seemed the greatest at that terrible, most dreadful, most desperate moment, his faith seemed the greatest. God was his Redeemer, and he stood on that belief. Above and beyond everything else, God was his Redeemer, and he stood on that faith. You and I are going to have trials. We will have pain, lots of pain. Pain almost beyond comprehension and almost unbearable. Probably couldn't bear it without God. But we know, just like Job, that our Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on this earth. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. My Redeemer lives, and he will stand once again on this earth. Irrespective of how bad things may become. We all identify with Job when we have troubles. None of us that I know of have ever had the troubles that Job went through in his life. And by the way, be sure to read the end of Job, because everything turned out good in the end. Everything's going to turn out great for us. We have victory over this life. We have victory over the consequences and things that happened in this life. Here's our tip for today. We was talking about an exceptional back of the boat search bait. A Tokyo rig. That's right, a Tokyo rig. We just did a video that I either put up in the next day or two. We've already put up. I'm not real sure. I think I did put it up maybe on TikTok about a Tokyo rig, showing exactly what a Tokyo rig is. You can actually buy a Tokyo rig at Bass Pro Shop already rigged. All you got to do is tie it on your line, add some soft plastic to it, and you can fish a Tokyo rig. Very, very simple and easy to fish. Tokyo rig. Exceptional search bait, an exceptional bait to use from the back of the boat. Maybe catch more than that person in the front of the boat that's hogging all the water. Guys and girls, make this a great day out there. Go have you a great one. Your Redeemer lives. And remember, I sure do love you.